Hi everyone, I'm Miss Val from the North Brunswick Public Library. Welcome to my kitchen for some kitchen science. So put on a t-shirt that you don't mind if it gets a little bit dirty. We are going to be making some food that is super simple and super tasty, and you can be able to use it and eat it during the upcoming holiday seasons. We have Thanksgiving, Christmas, all kinds of holidays coming up where people get together and they eat food. Now this year, maybe not as many people are going to get together, but you'll still be at your house with your families, and you can still make homemade butter, which is super, super simple. So what you are going to need is some sort of jar with a lid. Now this is an old peanut butter jar that I've cleaned out. You could use just about anything. If you have a mason jar from the craft store, if you have something smaller, baby food jars could work really well for this. Now, I checked beforehand, and this jar can fit about 2 cups of liquid. So what we want to do is then get heavy cream, salt, and maybe some fun stuff to add in. You could make it garlic and herb butter by adding garlic and parsley or other fun stuff that might go with your Thanksgiving dinner. Or you could make it really sweet butter to go on rolls. You could add sugar and cinnamon. So I'm going to show you how to make the really basic version, and we can go from there. The thing that makes this recipe so simple, I've got my heavy cream, opening it up for the first time for this craft. All right, set our little tab aside. One of the things that makes this so easy is that you really don't need to measure for it. You are just going to fill your jar halfway. So we can eyeball it. We don't need a measuring cup or anything. Though I told you at the beginning that this holds about 2 cups of liquid for an important reason. I'm going to set it down just for a second. And that reason is that for the salt that you add, you want to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt for every 1 cup of liquid. So I wanted to make sure that we weren't going to go crazy with the salt here. Now I only have a 1/2 teaspoon, so I'm going to be really careful about not filling it all the way. Again, we can just eyeball it because we're not perfectly measuring the cream either. But this looks about half. You can just start to see it. Maybe just a teeny bit more. Ooh. See, that might be too much. All right. We're going to pour that in. Now, the way that you make homemade butter, maybe you've seen this before. When you see old movies and they show people in the 1500s, the 1600s, and they're wearing long skirts and they have bonnets, pilgrims would have churned butter, right? Like for Thanksgiving. So we don't have butter churns, but what we can do is screw our lid on really tight and shake. And we are going to do this until butter forms. And the reason why it does this, the reason why it needs to be shaken, and that heavy cream doesn't just turn to butter all on its own, is because cream and all sorts of dairy, anything that comes from a cow, it's made up of fats. And the fats really like to stick together. That's what butter is. The fat really stuck together. And then milk is when the fat is furthest apart, when it's most liquid. You know about liquid and solid states. I've talked about them before in STEAM. You've got a solid, like an ice cube. Water's the best way to explain it. A solid would be an ice cube. A liquid would be water itself. And a gas would be when you heat water on the stove, when you see any of your grown-ups making pasta for dinner, and you start to see steam. It looks like smoke. Steam rises from the pot, and that steam, that is the water. It's a gas now. Now, dairy can also go between different states of matter. So we are making the heavy cream turn from a liquid to a solid. Hear that? It's barely splashing around at all. It's really starting to solidify. I'm gonna keep going though. We don't want any more splashing sounds. We want it totally gone. All right, let's take a quick peek. Let's see. Nope. It's foamy, but it's not solid. Does taste a little bit like butter though. We have to keep going. So your butter is going to be foamy for a while. There won't be any liquid sloshing noises, but then after a bit, the sloshing noises will come back. And all of the foam that filled up the whole cup, it's gonna go down again because, oh, look at that. You're starting to have some solid butter in there. Ooh. Give it a little check to see how firm it is. If you want it to be a bit more solid, you can close it back up, shake it some more until it's at a point where you think, this is good, this is done, I'm all finished with it. And then what you need is a strainer. You want it to be a really thin strainer so that none of your butter slides through there. A bowl to catch all that liquid. And then that's all. We just pour it in there. And look at that. That's butter. That is real butter that we made. All right. Tap it a few times to get the last of it out of there. Now the liquid that you have left is called buttermilk. Now that can be used as an ingredient all on its own, but let's check out our butter. I grabbed some crackers. I'm going to spread the butter, see how it tastes. I'm so excited. I never make stuff like this from scratch. I always just buy it from the store. Look at that. It spreads great. It's so nice and smooth. It smells yummy. That has a really good flavor. It's really fresh. It's really creamy. And like I said at the beginning, along with the salt, you could add some extra stuff like garlic and herbs or cinnamon and sugar to make it a special butter that you can have for the holidays. But then what you'll do is just take the butter that you strained, get it back into your little jar. And from there, you can keep it in the fridge in your new little holiday butter jar. Look at how much it makes. It's such a big amount. It really does fill half of the container, even though all that liquid came out. And it's so tasty. All right. And like I said, the milk left over can be used as an ingredient in different recipes. So maybe someday we'll do those together too. But thank you for joining me for Kitchen Science. I really hope this is something that you guys decide to do because it is simple, it is affordable, it takes a while, but it really is easy and tasty and worth it. And it's such a fun way to participate in your family's holiday traditions. Food is such an important part of the holidays. And when you're a kid, there's so little that you can do to help out because you can't use the oven yet, you can't use knives yet other than butter knives. But you really can make something fancy and fun and easy all by yourself. So show this video to your grown-ups, subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on Facebook so you can see any other fun new recipes that I come up with to do with you guys. And keep an eye out for our live Zoom program. We are partnering with Robert Wood Johnson to do a kitchen safety program with you guys. So we're going to have a special speaker that tells you all of the ways that you can stay safe during Thanksgiving and all of the other upcoming holidays where people will be in the kitchen a lot and they'll be cooking a lot. They're going to show you all of the ways that you can be safe around hot foods and sharp objects and things like the oven. So I really, really hope that we'll have you guys join us for that. I can't wait. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Make sure that you go to our Facebook page and keep an eye out for it. There should be a registration link on there. It's totally free, super fast and easy. That is going to be on Saturday, November 21st. So I really hope to see you guys then, okay? I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for coming to Steam Club. Goodbye, guys. That is going to be on Saturday, I don't remember